f of x as square root of 1 minus x. You need to find f of negative 3. Do this problem and also simplify minus square root of 1. These are the two problems you'll do right now. Do these two problems. Christina?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the first one.
You're going to substitute negative 3 in for x to get the square root of 4, which is 2.
Perfect. Great. Jose?
Yeah.
Jose, okay, so how do you do the second one?
So for the second one, you can't do the top, but you could do the bottom, right?
Okay, what's the bottom?
Or can you?
Top?
The bottom would be 3. For the top, would it be 1 times 1?
Yeah, 1 times 1, yes.
And then the bottom would be 3 times 3.
Okay, so what's the final answer?
And then your final answer is just 1 over 9?
1 over? So you make a pair. I made pair of
Oh,
this
1 over 3, sorry.
Yeah, negative. And there was a negative sign in front, so negative 1 over 3.
Oh, I didn't even see negative, my bad.
Yeah, there was a negative. Yeah, perfect. No problem. Any questions, anyone? Root. Whenever you are finding a square root of a square, whenever you are finding a square root of a square, you will always get a. The absolute value of a, which is basically this absolute value, means absolute value means change into positive. So if I say example, I say find the square root of negative 8 whole square. I say find the square root of negative 8 whole square. I know it's like it's gonna cancel this square and square root, since they're opposite, like plus and minus are opposite, multiplication and division are opposite. Similarly, square and square root are cancelled. I know I'm gonna get negative 8 as my answer, but negative 8 will not be my answer. I have to take the absolute value of that. Absolute value means I have to change this into positive. It will always be positive answer. You cannot have a square root as a negative answer. One more example if I take, I say find the square root of 8 square. Since square and square root are opposite of each other, they are going to cancel. My answer will be square root of absolute value of 8. Absolute value just keeps it positive. If it's negative, it will make it positive. If it's positive, it will remain positive. It will not change. So whenever you find like this, it gives me the absolute value. Remember, it just does not cancel and give me negative 8. You have to take the absolute value. Example, I take one more example here. So if you have, it says simplify each of the 8 square expressions assume the variable can represent any real number. So example they are saying is you have to find square root of 36t square. You have to find the square root of 36t square. Gerardo? So, Gerardo, let's see here. Okay, 36. What are the factors of 36? Is Gerardo here?
Yeah. Here.
Yeah. So, Gerardo, what are the factors of 36?
6.
6 times what?
6.
6
Oh, no. I'm tripping. Yeah, 6 times 6.
Yeah, 6 times 6. Perfect. And t square, how can I write t square as? T times t. T times t is t square. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make factors of 2. I make these two pairs of 2. What's my final answer, Gerardo?
6t.
6t. That's correct. But the only problem with this t is 6 is positive, I know. My answer should be positive here. I cannot have my final answer negative unless I have a negative sign outside. But I did not have negative sign outside. They say t could be any real number. If I put t as negative 1, this whole thing will become negative 1. So it's wrong. So my final answer is actually 6 of absolute value of t. That means whatever is t, I need to make that into positive. Or if you want to do it another way, whatever is it, you put it inside the square root. Whatever answer you get, put it inside the absolute value. Take out 6 already, we know 6, but t we don't know what it is. So we keep it inside the absolute value. Since it's a variable, you don't know the value. You're going to put yourself the value. Any questions with this part, this kind? I'm going to do more examples, but any problem with this problem especially?
I have a question.
Yes, Lisa.
What if the negative is outside of the square root?
So it remains there. Let it stay there. It's just outside. It's there. That's not a problem. But this whole thing, whatever is inside, will be positive.
Even for that 8 squared, if there is a negative on the outside of it,
Yeah. If suppose I get your, I have like this, right? It will be this negative will remain outside. From this inside, I will get mod of it, which is negative 8. This negative is from the outside. But the square root of this 8 square will give me just positive 8.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Let's do more problems on this.
So just anytime we encounter a variable inside of a square root that's squareable, the answer always has to be written as the absolute value of that.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Yes. Absolutely correct. Yes. So like we take one more example as, but see here in this case, you have x plus 3 whole square. X plus 3 whole square. In this case, what will happen is, again, these two cancel. You'll be left with x plus 3. You'll be like, oh, okay, absolute value. Note, in this case, you cannot say, oh, in that case, in the previous one, I could take it out because it was multiplication. But when it's addition, you cannot say like this. This is wrong. This is wrong. Your final answer is this thing. When it's addition, you just leave it here like this. You cannot take it out. The reason is, assume yourself, if I take my x as 1, it becomes 1 plus 3, which is 4. Okay. What about negative 1? I take out negative 1, it is negative 1 plus 3, which is 2, which is, again, just 2. But what if you write it this way, it becomes negative 1 plus 3, which is 1 plus 3, which is 4. They are not the same. They are not the same. So it is wrong to write it this way. This is wrong way of writing it. If it's multiplication, like in previous example, it is multiplication. It is multiplication. You can take it out and leave the absolute value of the variable. But in case of addition and subtraction, you cannot do that. In case of multiplication and addition, you can do it, but not in case of in case of multiplication and division, you can do it, not in case of addition and subtraction. Let me do one more example here. Anyone has any questions with this so far?
So what would be the final answer? Sorry.
It's here, this one.
Which one? Sorry.
X, this absolute value of x plus 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Because you cannot take out 3 outside. Let's do one more example here. Let's see, they have any? Okay. They're saying square root of this thing. You have to do this thing here. Again, t to the power of 6 means you are multiplying t 6 times. 4, 5, 6. Make pairs of 2. I made pair of 2. I made pair of 2. I made pair of 2. 3 t's will come out. 3 t's will come out. Make sure they are in absolute value. And becomes absolute t cube. Note, I'm not removing the absolute because t, I don't know what it is. If I knew what it was, I can remove my absolute sign here. But since I don't know, I will keep as it is. Let's do one more example here.
Would it be negative
Why it
t
would be
cubed?
why it would be
Is that a
negative?
negative? Oh, okay. I thought I saw a negative sign. I don't know.
Yeah. That's not, that was just example underlined, yeah. Let's see one more example. You have 8 to the power of 8. Okay. Rockwell?
Sorry, I had to click my mic. Yeah, what's going on? The next question.
Yeah.
Okay, for divide or not divide, but separate the A's
How many times?
8 times.
1, 2,
You multiply them 8 times.
5, 6, 7, 8. What's the next step?
The next step is you make pairs.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I made pairs.
So you take one from each pair and you move it to the other side of the equal sign.
So what do you get? How many A's will I take out?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Which is equal to what?
A to the 4th.
A to the 4th. Will I remove the absolute sign?
No.
Because I don't know what my A is. Perfect. But I have a question here. Okay. I have a
Yes.
question here. It's like, can you tell me what is negative 3 to the power of 4?
Negative 3 to the power of 4. Yeah, hold on. Just give me a second. It's a negative, or no, it's 81,
81. What is 3 to the power of 4?
I think. Yeah, 81.
81. No matter what my A is, if it's A or it's positive, what my answer is, final answer is
Positive.
always positive. So I don't need to write my absolute sign.
Oh. Sorry, you kind of cut out there for a second. My connection's unstable. It
Okay.
says.
So no matter what my A I'm taking negative or positive. My actual answer is coming out to be always positive. So I don't need to write absolute sign. But in this case here, t cube, if I take negative, suppose I take as negative 1, I will get negative 1. But if I take positive 1, I get positive 1. In this case, the sign changes. So that means I have to keep the absolute sign in the previous example. But in case of this example, I don't have to keep the absolute sign because no matter what I take, positive or negative, I will always get my answer as positive. So you can make a note of it for yourself. Even powers, that means 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so on. Even powers,
Be positive.
you can remove absolute sign at the end. Odd powers like 1, 3, 5, 7, keep absolute sign. In case of variables, so if you have even powers like 2, 4, 6, 8 and all, you can remove the absolute sign at the end. But in case of odd ones, keep the absolute sign as it is. Any questions with this one? Let's do more problems on this. If I say here, you have to find square root of y square. Dylan,
Yes.
what's the square root of y square?
Y.
Y. Will I put absolute value or no?
Yes.
Yes, I will put absolute value. That's correct. What's square root of a to the power of 10? Julian,
Yes.
what's the square root of a to the power of 10?
Would it be a to the power of 5?
It will be a to the power of 5. Will I put absolute value or no?
Yes, because you don't know the value of a.
I don't know the value of a, or is it the odd power or even power here?
I'm not sure.
It is both. It is both.
Okay.
If it's even power like 2, 4, 6, 8, I can remove the absolute power. But if it's like power is here is 1, 3, 5, 7 on the variable, I have to keep the absolute power.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have here 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you make pairs. That's what I did, and I took out 5 of them outside. Any questions with this, anyone? Okay. If one thing you noted is in the previous example we did, it said, read the question properly. It said, simplify each of the expressions. Assume the variables are represent any real numbers. They can be any real numbers. Underline. So they are saying t can be anything here. We did problems. T could be anything. Y could be anything. A could be anything. That's what they mean. So when they have something like this, the way we did the problems, you're going to do the same way. But suppose I get a problem like this. Simplify each expression. You have to simplify each expression. Assume that the expressions being squared are non-negative. Okay, so suppose now they are saying, so inside the variables, they're not negative numbers, they're just positive numbers. I know whatever I'm taking inside. So if I have to find square root of y square, I know my y is positive already. I don't have to worry about that. They say already non-negative, that means they are positive. I know this thing is, my solution is y. In this case, I don't need to put absolute value. I don't have to put absolute value because they are talking about positive value itself. So my y is my only solution. If they're talking about all real numbers or they're talking about negative numbers, then you have to put an absolute sign. But in case they're talking about non-negative numbers, you don't need absolute value. Because if you write like this or you write this thing, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So in this case, the directly answer will be y. In fact, if you have a to the power of 10, the way we did a problem like this above, if comes in this problem where your square of non-negative integers, I know a to the power of 5 will be positive because my a is positive. I know my a is positive, so a to the power will also be positive. I don't have to put an absolute sign. Absolute just converts negative into positive. That's all it does.
Is this just if we get a problem on a quiz or a test that specifies, assume that everything is non-negative?
Yes, it will say that. So this word is very important. Non-negative or real numbers. That will tell you have to put absolute sign or you don't have to put absolute sign. When it says real numbers, you have to make sure you look for the absolute sign. Whenever it says non-negative, you don't have to worry about absolute sign at all. Whatever is the answer, that's your answer. Okay. Okay.
Is that because in that case, if we wrote the answer there as absolute value of A5 or of A5, we would actually be implying that we would be stating that it's a negative number, right?
It will, the thing is, it will still remain positive. The reason is why. Suppose, example, it can be only positive numbers, right? If I say 2 to the power of 10, it comes out to be 2 to the power of 5. What does absolute value of 2 to the power of 5 means? I mean, whatever answer I have inside, it should be positive. That's what it says. Whatever is inside, it should be positive. And I already know 2 to the power of 5 is positive. So I don't have to write in the absolute sign. But in the previous example, if I had 2 minus 2 to the power of 10, I could have taken negative numbers also because it said all real numbers. It said all real numbers. I could have taken negative numbers also. In this example, I can only take non-negative. That means positive numbers only. But in this case, if I take a negative number, my answer will be negative 2 to the power of 5. If I don't put an absolute sign, my final answer will be 32, negative 32. But that's not possible. I cannot have a negative answer for a square root. That's why I have to put a absolute sign. So answer will be 32. Are you getting my point? Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Wouldn't it be 64?
Oh, 64, yes. You're correct. 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to 16, 16. Yeah. Is it 16, 16? It should be 64? 2 times 4, 2, 4, 5, 2 to 4.
2 to the power of 2 is 2 to the power of 4, 8, 16. You're right. 32. Yeah.
Yeah, 32.
2, 4, 8, 16, 32.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be 32. Yeah. It's going to be 32. So when it's all real numbers, make sure you put an absolute sign. When it's just non-negative, you can remove the absolute sign and whatever answer you have, that's your final answer. So if you want to make a note for yourself, okay, A part, non-negative, remove absolute sign. All real numbers, okay, if you can say, then if all real numbers, you will check even power, remove sign, odd power, keep absolute sign. So in brief, this is what we did. If it's all real powers, if it's even, you can remove sign directly. If it's odd, odd means 1, 3, 5, 7, so on. Numbers which are not divisible by 2. Keep the absolute sign. Okay.
How do you get the 32? Just quick question, I won't get lost.
Okay, so negative 2 to the power of 5, right? Negative 2 to the power of 5 means you're multiplying negative 2 5 times. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative.
Alright.
Yeah. So that's how I got negative 32.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? No? Okay, so let's do one, before I go, let me give you some problems so that you understand here. Okay. So it says, question says, for each the following, find the square root. It says 64, 100, C 400, C 625. Next problem. for each following. Start doing these problems yourself. Well,
Does C say 400?
400, yes, it's 400.
What does the second thing say? Find the following.
For each of the following, find the specific value.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's 5t minus 10?
Yeah, 5t minus 10, yes. Caesar?
Caesar.
Yeah. So first problem, for each of the following, find the square root of 64. So basically you had to find the square root of 64.
8.
How did you find 8?
So 64. Let's do 2 times 32. And 32 is 16 times 2. Then 16 is 8 times 2. 8 is 4 times 2. 4 is 2 times 2.
So how many 2's you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So I make pairs. I took out 3 2's outside. That's how you got 8. Will I put absolute sign here?
No.
Yeah, it's already positive. I know I don't have to put absolute sign. Perfect. Cat?
I'm here.
What was square root of 100?
So I broke it down and I got 2 times 50, then 50 divided by 2 would be 2 times 25. And 25 divided by 5 is 5 times 5. So it was 2 times 5 equals 10.
Perfect.
The square root.
Will I put absolute sign?
No.
Yeah, because it's already positive number. I put absolute sign if it was a negative number I was getting from inside.
Yeah.
Perfect, yes. Jordan. Oh, he was here. Lauren. Is Lauren here? Brett.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you give me an answer for 400?
Yeah, I got 20.
Perfect, yes. What are the factors you got?
I got 4 2s and 2 5s.
Okay, and then you make pairs. So when you take out, you get 2 times 2 times 5. Perfect. Perfect. Jesus,
Yeah,
625. What did you get?
I got 25.
25. And how did you get 25?
I did 625 divided by 5,
Okay.
then that's 125.
And then?
And then I did 125 divided by 5, which is 5 times 25.
Okay.
And then I did 25 divided by 5, which is 5 times 5.
And that's how you
So
got
there are
4.
2 pairs of 5s, and 5 times 5 is 25.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Will I put absolute value here, Jordan?
No.
No, because the thing is, it's inside. From inside, I'm getting a positive value. I don't have to worry. I know it is positive, so I leave it as it is. Okay, perfect. Fernando?
Yeah.
Okay, Fernando. Did you solve this thing, f of 3?
No, I was just gonna start it right now.
Okay, do it.
So it's basically 5 times 3 minus 10.
Which is?
So, which is 5.
Then, so you get
15
square
minus
root
10
of
is 5, yeah.
And what's the square root of 5? Let's make factors of 5. Can you make factors of 5?
No.
So the answer is square root of 5. That's it. Your answer is square root of 5. Okay. Can I have Niza? Is Niza here? Okay. Joshua? Ramirez? Not here. Reese? Not here.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, Joshua Ramirez?
Yeah.
Okay, here you are. So can you tell me the next one, f of 2?
Which one?
F of 2. You need to find f of 2. You're given f of t as this thing, you have to find f of 2.
Yeah, I can't really hear you right now.
Do it and tell me what you get.
I had a question.
Yeah.
So, I remember you saying earlier if it's negative inside of the radical sign,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean there is no solution?
Yes, like in this case, we'll come to this point here. See?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Joshua just said, can you all hear me? I can't hear him. Do you hear him talking?
No. So let's see here. Second one. Anyone who got for the answer for f of 2?
For f of 2 wouldn't.
Yeah.
It said no. I have the answer.
So what do you have the answer?
0.
Yeah, so you get square root of 0, and square root of 0 is 0, because you can write 0 as 0 times 0. So you will get 0. Okay, Yasmin? Is Yasmin here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is f of 1?
Las otras dos no tengo solución.
I got square root of I got negative 5.
Square root of negative 5?
No, 5.
Just 5?
Yeah.
Or square root of negative 5?
What happened?
What did you get? You get this answer which I have written, or it's positive 5 or negative 5?
-5.
Okay, -5. And what's the square root of -5?
So it's just 5.
So square root of a negative number, Yasmin, whenever you have a square root of a negative number, no real answer.
Oh, okay.
It's always no real answer. Perfect. Maria,
Yes.
when you put -1, what did you get?
Oh, okay. I didn't get to that one. I didn't see it. So it would be -15.
And what's the answer?
No real solution.
Exactly. Real. If you have negative number inside, no real solution. Perfect. Correct. Joshua Hernandez.
Yes.
So can you tell me, what's the answer for the other one? This one, 10x 100x square. And read the question. Variables represent any real numbers, and then you have to solve this.
So it is square root 100 and then square root x.
So first of all, 100. What are the factors of 100?
10. 2 times 2 times 5
Times?
times 5.
Okay, and x square I can write as x times x. That means I'm writing x twice. Let's make pair. 1, 2, 3. What can I take out?
So you can take off 1 from each pair.
So what do you get?
So it's 2 and then times 5 times x.
Okay, what do you get?
So it is 10x.
You get 10x. That's your answer?
Yes.
Okay. What happens when it's all real numbers? Joshua?
So it's
when it's all real numbers, you need to put a absolute sign once you solve.
Absolute sign. So it is
absolute 10.
Absolute 10x.
Yeah, absolute 10x. But note, I can since it's multiplication or division, I can take out 10 outside and I'll be left with just x. If it's addition subtraction, I cannot take out. If 10 plus x I had, I could not take out 10. But since I have 10 times x, I can take out 10 outside, and this is my final answer. Anthony?
I have a quick question about that one. Where do you get the other 5 from? Because isn't the square root of 110?
Yes. So he made the factors of complete of them, like, he completely, rather than writing 10 times 10, you can do that. Or you can completely divide it into 2, 5,
Okay, no.
Yeah. So can I have Anthony? Okay, Anthony is not here. Okay, Chanton?
Hi. Okay.
So for this one.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm lost. We're doing B, right?
Yeah, B.
Okay. Oh, I think I wrote B, C as in B. Okay. So. Oh. Okay. I'm kind of stuck.
What do you think? What do you think is the answer? It's okay if you're wrong.
Well, it would be square root of just 8 minus t.
So square root and they cancel each other. Since they're opposite of each other, like addition, subtraction, square and square root, they're opposite of each other.
Right.
They cancel. You're left with just 8 minus t.
Right.
Note, but since it was real numbers, all real numbers, I will put an absolute value.
Okay. That's right. Okay.
And I cannot separate you like, oh, 8 is positive, I take out 8 outside, inside I'm left with negative t. You cannot do that. Only if they're multiplying, in previous example, only if they're multiplying or dividing, you can separate them. Like 10 was multiplying in this case. I could take out 10 outside and leave x inside. But in this case, 8 is, t is being subtracted from 8. There's addition or subtraction here. I cannot take it out. This is my final answer. You got it?
Okay. Yes.
Perfect.
Next.
Kenya? Kenya? Carlos?
Yes.
Okay, Carlos, what is the answer for this one? C part here.
Alright. So first we gotta find the factors of 1,000, right?
Yeah. Which is?
5 times
Five times what?
Isn't it times 100, right? 5 times 100?
200, 200.
Okay.
And then 200 is 200, 2 times 100.
Yeah, 2 times 100.
And then 100 is 2 times what?
2 times 50.
50. And then 50 is 2 times what?
You can't. Wait, 25?
25. Okay, and 25 is what? 5 times 5.
Yeah, 5.
So you get 1, 2, 3 2s and 3 5s. And then x5 means your 5x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's make pairs. This 2, this x, this x. So you get here 1 5 outside, 1 2 outside, and 2x outside. And you will put an absolute sign since it is a real numbers. So you
Real number.
you have 10x square. What's the final answer?
So it's 10.
10 I can take out. Since it's multiplication, I can take out 10. What about x square?
It just.
Do you remember I wrote here? See here. I said when it's all real numbers, if it's even power, I'm going to remove the absolute sign. If it's odd power, I will keep absolute sign. X has an even power or odd power?
It's an even.
So I will take out the absolute sign. So my answer is 10x square.
10x, okay.
In previous example here, I had just 10x. The power here was odd, so I kept the absolute sign.
Okay.
Perfect. Eric?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What happened to the numbers that weren't paired?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes. Sorry. So you have to put here inside square root of 10. You have to write square root of 10 also. Because what is left inside, you have to write that also. I'm sorry. I forgot that. You're correct. This will be 10x squared square root of 10. Eric is here. Niza. So square root of negative 16. Yasmin.
Wait, hold on, Professor. Wouldn't it be 10x squared square root of 10x? Because we're missing a fifth x. It's x to the power of 5.
Yes. We are missing a x also. It's square root of 10x. Yes, correct. Is Yasmin here?
I just had a quick question on that again. So don't we put the x squared into an absolute value?
See here, for real numbers, what does it say? For real numbers, all even parts, you have to remove the sign.
Yeah.
So since x square is even, so I don't need to put a sign there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yasmin? Come on, Maria. Guys, you're answering and then you go back, okay? Joshua, you're missing after that.
Did you call me?
Maria? Yes, Maria.
Yeah.
What's the answer for the D part?
For which one? D?
D1.
It would be. I'm still working on it. So let me.
Would it be no
Wait,
solution?
it's no solution actually.
Yeah, because it's a negative inside the square root. No solution. No real solutions. Actually, it is known as no real solution. There is a solution, but it is complex. So you will say no real solutions. Okay. Can I have Christina? Christina? Not here. Martin?
No, I'm here. Sorry, I couldn't get my mic on.
Okay, Christina, what's the answer for the first one?
It's 4x.
4x. Will I put an absolute sign?
No, because we're doing non-negative numbers.
Non-negative, you don't have to worry about absolute sign at all. Perfect. Savannah? Savannah?
Yes, sorry, I was talking with my mic off.
Okay, what about the C one?
For C, what does that say? It says 7.
C.
7C? Okay. I might need a little help with this.
That's okay.
Just because I'm still a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think I'm going to need a lot of help with this.
What do you think is the
Would
answer?
we cancel out the square since it's being squared?
Yeah, since square and square root are opposite of each other, they cancel. You're left with 7C. Note, I don't have to worry about the absolute sign because it's non-negative. If it's real numbers, I have to worry about the absolute. Since it's non-negative, I don't have to worry about absolute. But note, I had a minus sign outside. So I have to put that minus sign outside.
So it'd be like a minus sign and then absolute value 7C?
No, we are not putting absolute sign because it is
non-negative.
non-negative.
Right, sorry. So just negative 7C?
Yes. Perfect, yes.
Okay.
Haley? Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me for this one?
So I got 5A.
Why 5A?
So I took out because 5 times 5 is 10, but
5 times 5 is 25.
Sorry, not 5 times 5. Okay. That's not what I meant. I was actually a little confused about this one, to be honest with you.
See, square and square root, they're opposite of each other. They're like addition, subtraction. Like addition, subtraction are opposite. Similarly, square and square root, they're opposite of each other. They cancel.
Oh, so it would be 10. Wouldn't it be 10A? Because negative 10 times negative 10 is 100. And then...
In this case, they cancel. Your answer is negative 10A. They just cancel directly.
Oh, okay.
That's it. That's the answer. In case it said all real numbers, then you have to put absolute sign.
Okay.
But since it does not say all real numbers, this is your answer.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any questions, anyone so far?
So unless it says all real numbers, then you would keep then you won't have to put the absolute sign, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All real numbers, you'll put the absolute sign, yes.
And that's how we turn it in the homework. It would just be negative 10A.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it, yeah. Okay, so this was 10.1 we did. Okay, so I'm going to give you a break for like 10 minutes. I'll see you at 11. Then we're going to do 10.2. If you have questions, you can stay back.
Sorry, could you repeat that? They were kind of cutting out a little bit. Could you repeat that?
Which one?
Could you repeat what you just said? You were kind of cutting out on the last part.
So the last problem you're talking about?
No.
You just said break until 11.
Break until 11.
Oh, okay. Right.
Break until 11, yes. If you have questions, you can ask me right now, guys. No, we have a break for 10 minutes. Yeah, done. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.